So let's just do this. We're going to, how do we want to do this? We're going to talk about prayers. And we're going to have a testimony from Stephanie. And I'm going to borrow Jeremy's guitar. And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know God the way I ought to know Him. Does anybody feel like they do? Don't hurt yourself.
Does that make you nervous, Mark?
I don't know. My bad knee's bad. I don't know God the way I should know Him. But I'm trying to learn through prayer. And the two things I do know, this is true. I can say, thus saith the Lord. Two things the evil one does not want you to do are, somebody gets read the Bible and pray. He'll let you have all the casseroles you want. He'll let you have all the musicals you want. But He does not like you to read the Bible or pray. Because what happens? We change. We either do one of two things. We either change or we quit doing it, right? Because I don't know about you, but I get convicted when I read the Bible or I pray. So, now that I've hurt myself, we're going to learn a song so that maybe we'll feel more comfortable about praying. What is it? Yours? All right, so let's stand up. And I told Stephanie she doesn't bulletins. There aren't no bulletins in heaven. BTW. You agree? And there's also no one saying you may be seated in heaven. So here's the song we're going to learn. You ready? I sing it with my grandsons. No, it's not on your sheet. So here's the first line. Oh God, you are my God. And I will ever praise you. And we'll repeat that. Oh God, you are my God. And I will ever praise you. And I will seek you in the morning. And I will learn to walk in your ways. Step by step.
Hi. Okay, so it's okay if you can't see part of my face. I'm okay with that. I hope you are too. Okay, I'll take this off, and then I'll move a little, and then you'll see me sometimes. So Mark asked me yesterday if I would give my testimony of when I came to Christ. I was gone most of the day yesterday, so I didn't really prepare anything. Sorry about that. But also, when Mark asked me, like he said, we are called to be ready to give an account for the hope that we have. And the other part of that verse is without fear. So it is no coincidence that I wore my attire here that says I'm a nervous Rex. I also feel like, I probably use up all of my bravery, if you will, singing, so it may be all expelled out of me to do this. So if I happen to pass out, just step over me and continue, and I'll come to at some point, I think. So now I'm going to breathe. Give me a second. Well, basically, my testimony is it's not flashy. It's not exciting. It's not one of those that you're going to hear and tell again and say, hey, this, did you hear this person? They, went down this path and now they came to Christ because they went down such a wrong path. I was raised in church, so I became a Christian when I was a child. But the beauty of Christ and all of our experiences is that while they are vastly different, they're the same, and it doesn't matter how long it took or how many paths we took, that the end result is still, I was saved by the blood of Christ, and my sins were just as bad as a child as somebody that got saved when they led their life of whatever for 99 years and got saved, right? So, like I said, it's a pretty simple story. I was raised in church, or more correctly, I was raised by the church. Because I went to church, I was the kid that went to church, and my parents didn't go to church. Not because that they didn't believe in Christ, and not because they weren't good people that taught me to go to church and do that. They did that when I was young, and really young, but after a while, they were no longer together and felt like, strange, I guess, coming to church. So it was me and my brothers went to church on our own. We were the kids that sat in the pews by ourselves. I did have an aunt that was there when she was not taking care of her husband, who was always chronically sick, and my grandma was there, so that was always good. So I went to all the stuff. I went to the GAs on Wednesday. Who remembers GAs? Let's go. See? All these young people are like, we have no idea. So went to church on Sunday. We had church on Sunday nights. I grew up knowing what the truth was. And I also grew up very appropriately being a nervous Rex, not wanting to make that decision until knowing I needed to make that decision, but not wanting to make that decision until I had a little push. And my little push came when my parents were gone and I was staying with my aunt and my cousin. And my cousin, we were in her room, and I remember her just turning to me and being like, "You're not saved. Have you made that decision?" I'm like, "No." And then being all uncomfortable, and then she said, "Well, you know that this is something that," like, I knew the truth of Christ was that Jesus died on the cross for my sins, and he rose again, and that I had never made that commitment to say, "Hey, I'm following you." So in her room, I prayed that sinner's prayer that was just admitting that, I was a sinner. I believe that Christ died for me, and I will, I confess my sins to him. And then I went on from there to become a Christian. And then I went up front and told my church, which was also terrifying, if you could imagine. That was on August 23rd when I was 11 years old. So past that, I've tried very hard to kind of live in that and live my life that way. I'm not saying there's not time in my life that I've kind of fallen off of doing that as well, or as disciplined as I probably should. I guess the thing I want to leave you with more than anything is to realize that, you never know when you're in the church and you're helping out and it becomes a little bit mundane, or it becomes a little bit like work, or it becomes a little bit like, it's really hard to do VBS because, there's not enough help and it's a long week and it's hard, or children's Bible study, or, adult Bible study, or whatever it is. But I would encourage you to realize that makes an impact on everybody. And just like I said, I was raised by the church because those people made an impact in my life. They taught me the truth from a young age, and it's locked in my heart, so it's always there. I can still remember people in my church. I can remember the things they used to say. Like, I remember our preacher used to always say, he was a good Southern Baptist preacher, Brother Noble. That's what we called him all the time. And he would say, "You're a dirty, rotten, no good sinner." And he would pound that into us. And that's true, absolutely. But the grace of Christ is that even though I'm a dirty, rotten, no good sinner, that there is grace, and Christ's blood covers everybody's sin, no matter how young you are when you make that decision or how old you are when you make that decision. And that's the beauty of that. So I would encourage you, if you're here in the church and you have kids running around and you're not sure if you're making a difference, just know that you're making a difference. And one day that kid that you're talking to may be the one that gets to lead worship in a church later on in their lives, right? The last thing I'll leave you with is just to remember that, like yesterday we went, and Tinley, we bought some little, I don't know, they're called geodes. So they're like the little rocks, right? And you break them open, and then they become really like pretty and sparkly on the inside. And it took some work. She's like, "Oh, let's go do this now." And I'm like, "Oh, yay, I'm tired." And so we went out, and we're like using the hammer, and we're using the old screwdriver to try to get to the pretty part. And while I'm there and I'm pounding away, I'm just realizing that the reality is that this is what Christ does with us, because he knows the beauty that he's put inside of us. He knows what he's created, and he also knows how we've hardened all of that, and he just will continue to kind of chisel away and break off those hard pieces and that heart of stone to give us that, that beauty that's inside that we can share with other people. So just kind of remember that if I can stand up here and do this in my nervous wrecks, that you guys can too. And just know that you guys are 100% making an impact on people, even if you don't know it.
So the people she was talking about that walked the wrong path and then came back out to me, Marcy. But the Lord saved us on the same day. So would you take a minute right now with me? Here's Marcy and I's testimony, by the way. We put it in the paper in like 2002, something like that. I figured everybody's talking about, advertising for everything. We advertise what Jesus did for us. Amen. So we're just going to have a time of prayer, if that's okay with everybody. Sing a song together. Hey, can you welcome you with open arms, yes? And that's how those people out in the world, God loves them as much as us, where Cadence is out there lifeguard, the way they know that she's different from the rest of the world is because she's nice and she loves other people, right? And then I heard Jeremy talking about Esther and what was it called? The New York Men's Prayer Revival in New York City. So here's what I'm just suggesting, just throwing it out there. We've started a prayer group in Springfield, and as I was praying this morning, my good friend, she's 80-some years old, texted me and said, I pray that you glorify the Lord. And she texted me that because she'd been walking around the square in Springfield with her friends, praying for Springfield. So you all are praying for Hamilton, we're praying for Springfield, right? We're all the body of Christ. And God can do whatever He wants to do, what we do. I don't know how Jerry acts at work. I know that Marcy will tell you. Oh, quick joke. If the Pope would get married, he'd find out he's not infallible. And Marcy can tell you I'm not either. But if we'd all do what God tells us to do, wherever we're at, He can do amazing things. And it's not because we're anything, right? This one on here that I was saving for myself. When I came to you, brothers, I didn't come with superiority of speech or wisdom, proclaiming to you the testimony of God. I am determined to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. And my message and preaching were not in persuasive words of wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, that your faith might not rest on the wisdom of men, but on the power of God. And I've seen God do some pretty amazing things in my life. And there's people, I talked to Lisa Morris, I know who that is. Talked to her yesterday, and we were in the room at the Methodist church, and all of a sudden her ear got healed, and she could hear out of her deaf ear for 30 years, whatever. And I'm not here, but God. I'm here to say this. As our friend Travis Bowen used to say, I'll dial, and you all can talk, and then we'll ask Marcy to hang up. Does that sound like a plan? That's my wife, Marcy. So, let's just take 5 minutes and pray. Two books that have helped me are, number one, it's by a guy in Springfield, 5 Altars of Prayer. Number two, Dick Eastman wrote a book called The Hour That Changes the World. And it's 5 minutes for 12 different things. You start out with praise to God. You start out with surrendering to God. Then you go to confessing your sins. Then you go to scripture prayer. And then you go to watch out how the devil might attack you during prayer. You ever had that happen? I have. Then you go to remember the world. I can tell you, people I'm praying for, I have 2 kids that don't know the Lord. You know what I'm talking about. And I have neighbors that don't know the Lord. So anyway, you go into remembering the world, then you confess your blessings. And then you worship in song, and then you meditate on God, and then you receive instruction from God. So I'm asking, can we pray together right now? And maybe God will tell us. I don't know. Okay, I'll dial. You're hanging up.
And we're in between.
And everybody else is in between. And hey, if revival breaks out, we're not here by 5 o'clock. I got to get back to sleep. Lord, thank you so much for who you are. When we think back how you pulled us out of miry clay, Lord, know what? First time I tried to pray for an hour, because Jesus, remember what he said in the garden? Couldn't you watch and pray for? I should have been 5 minutes, but he said an hour. And my mind wandered and everything else. But I'd like to praise God right now for you all coming today. And I praise God for all the churches that are faithfully preaching the whole counsel of God. I don't know if Terry's brother Terry is preaching the whole counsel of God right now. Hopefully he is. Amen. I got to tell you a quick story. Do you all know Terry's brother Terry? They're twins. We used to never be able to tell them apart. And then Terry got saved and he became my neighbor. And I said, well, the way to tell them apart is Terry's always smiling. But then Jerry got saved, and now he's always smiling. So there's kind of a testimony for you. We got one more song?
Yeah.
So thank you, and let's keep praying, amen? Who knows what God might do? I mean, Tim sat there every week. Now what's up?
I count on one thing, the same God that never fails will not fail me now. You won't fail me now in the waiting. The same God who's never late is working all things out. You're working all things out. Yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Oh, yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy. All that is. Oh, yes, I will.
funny. Yesterday, I figured out that